One stock which is in focus today from opening bell has been Arshiya International, and they are now looking to tie up with US-based company GATX. The tie-up, of course, is for leasing wagons. Let's join the management and understand this tie-up a little better. Arshiya Intl, CMD at Arshiya International, joins us on the show. Ajay, hi, afternoon. First, let us or help us understand how the strategic tie-up is going to impact you and benefit you, really.
But this is a kind of a tie-up where we are going to be having operational lease of rakes. We already own 20 rakes of our own. The next 10 rakes in this financial year that we are going to induct in our rail company would be leased from GATX. GATX is a world leader in leasing of rail cars. They've been in this business for about 114 years. They're a 93 years profit-making, dividend-paying company for the last 93 years. They have tremendous experience in building very efficient rakes, which they will build with their partners in India. And those are the rakes that they would lease out to us, which would increase our efficiency in this sector. By having more efficiency, would be able to increase our revenue substantially. So this tie-up is very crucial for us in terms of not only increasing our efficiency but also our revenues.
Ajay, could you help us understand? Investors would want to know, when you're saying that it will help improve revenue substantially. Is there any way you could give an indication of what could be the quantum jump in revenues?
But there are two ways that the revenue would increase. One is obviously we would bring down our capex cost substantially, because we are not going to be investing in rakes anymore. We are going to be leasing these rakes from GATX. In the next financial year there are about 10, and then obviously as we grow we would go in for more rakes of leasing. So there's a decrease in our capex, as well as the interest and the depreciation cost for us is much more on owned rakes than on the leasing front. So there is a drop in our cost of operations itself because of leasing, number one. Number two, because of the efficiencies, which only as we will go along and time would tell, I think at least by 20-25% we'd be able to increase in our efficiency. So our revenues, I think, should see an increase of at least 30-35%.
So Ajay, just to stretch that point forward, you said that your capex spend is actually going to reduce. Could you quantify that?
Yeah, I surely would. For the 10 rakes that we are planning to be inducted in this financial year, by FY13, we would have about 120 to 130 crores of reduction in our capex plan. That in our rail business is pretty substantial as compared to all our businesses, but 120 to 130 crores allows us to actually use this money to build other rail infrastructure, which would actually enhance our efficiency further beyond the efficient rakes that would be supplied by GATX.
Ajay, also you said 35% improvement in revenues is what you could see. What about the impact on margins? Do you see them improving as well?
Margins would definitely increase. Actually, I'm talking of, when you say revenues, for me, if you look at interest and depreciation would come, it's not EBITDA, it's after the EBITDA. So here when we pay lease rent, it would be a revenue expenditure. So I'm not looking at EBITDA, I'm talking of actual increase in our profitability. So it's a PAT based revenue increase.
Ajay, are you looking at a tie-up with Cisco Systems as well?
Well, there is no tie-up with Cisco System as such, but we are contemplating becoming one of their lead service providers, which is something that is on the cards for us, but that's a very different kind of a tie-up as compared to what we've done today.
Any timeline as to when that tie-up could potentially get formalized? Because that's another piece of information that the market is obviously seeking clarity on.
Well, I don't have a timeline on that, but I think it should be probably within this month or next month.
All right, Ajay, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us with that perspective on that big deal that Arshiya International has signed. Thanks so much for that chat.